Hi everybody, and welcome to another tutorial on Game Maker. Today's game we're going to be creating the classic arcade game Breakout. In this tutorial as well we're going to move into the scripting, which is using the Game Maker language. So first of all you need to open up Game Maker and go into the tutorials. Remember, yours will look different to mine, but it's Breakout, the game that we're creating. It looks like that. Now, just one piece of advice. I think the reason why a lot of people have been having issues saving their work at school is because we've been recreating the project name. So what I suggest is just leave it exactly how it is there. Don't give it a new name. Just remember what you've saved it as. So once I go into creating it here, I'm just going to close these windows, and I need to of course start with adding some sprites. So if I right click on that and create sprite, our first sprite is going to be the brick. And all we need to do for the brick sprite after we've found it, now this is where we start to have issues about where has it exactly gone. As you can see, the folders that it's created on my laptop are numerous as well, and every time I seem to go into this tutorial it will create a new folder. But I've researched this before, and the sprites I need are in here, so I'm just going to start with the brick one. And what you need to do is center the origin. It's like an anchor point. So when you place it on your screen, it's anchored by the middle of it. Go ahead now and create the bat sprite. And again we want to center that. We also need the wall sprite. And lastly we need the ball sprite. With the ball sprite, as well as centering it, we also need to modify the mask, and we are going to change the shape to an ellipse. So basically, when the ball hits the bricks, it has to hit along the edge of the ball rather than the rectangle. Okay, and okay. Now that we have 4 sprites, we're going to create our first object. So if we create object, our first one is going to be the wall. So we'll load up the wall sprite. Now we're not actually going to create any events for this, but we are going to change this little section here. We want the wall to be invisible. So I'm just going to get rid of that tick and then press OK. Before we go any further, guys, just hit the save button in case anything happens, and we've got a backup. The next object that we're going to create is the brick object. But what we actually want to do for this object is go into edit and then into edit sprite. We're going to create several different sub-images of this brick. So basically we want all the bricks to sort of be random colours to make it a little bit more interesting for our audience to watch. So once we're in here, we're just going to copy that and then paste the image and double click on image 1. Once we're in here, we're going to go up to image and colorize. Now as you'll see, you've got this bar here that you can drag up to change the color. So we actually need about 6 of these all together. So copy and paste, double click, image, colorize, and go ahead and create several different colors of brick. Okay, until you've got 6 images all together. Once you've got 6 all up, you can tick that and go to OK. The next thing we're going to do with our brick object is to add a create event. Once you've done the create event, we need to go to the Control tab and drag the execute code. I'll just minimize that window. Oh, sorry. That's better. Okay, now what we need to type in here is image underscore speed equals 0. And the second line, image underscore index equals floor bracket random bracket image underscore index image underscore number end bracket semicolon. So what we've just typed in here, the first part of the code sets the image speed to 0, quite obviously. So that basically means it's not going to be animated, it's not moving anywhere. The second line is the one that selects the sub-image, and as you can see, we've set our sub-image to random. I can see I've got a spelling mistake in here, so I'll just fix that up. Right. So we'll tick that, OK the object, and save again. Next object we're going to create is the bat. So let's just give it a name, obj bat underscore bat, and assign it to the bat sprite. Now this time we need to add some movement into the object using keyboard events. So we're going to be using the left and right and space. Space will get the ball actually moving to start with, and of course the left and right will make the bat move left and right. So we're going to start with the keyboard event. Left. Then we'll go back to the Control tab and drag the code into it. And in this one, we need to type in if place underscore meeting bracket x minus 5 comma y comma object wall obj underscore wall end bracket equals false. And on the next line we'll just start with one of those curly brackets, and down here we'll go x minus or equal to 5 semicolon, enter, finish the curly brackets. And basically the first part of this code does the check to the left of where the bat is to see if the moving that bat to the new position will make it collide with the wall. If there isn't a collision detected, the bat will move left 5 pixels. Now I'm going to create the keyboard event for the right arrow. So we'll just tick that, go back to add event, keyboard, right, drag another execute code in, and this code, very similar to the one we've just done, if place underscore meeting bracket x plus 5 comma y comma obj underscore war end bracket equals false. Enter. Start with curly bracket. X plus or equal to 5 end curly brackets. So this code is exactly the same as the one used previously, except now it's checking movement to the right. Finally, we need to add a control code for starting the game and firing off the ball object. For this, we need another keyboard event. This time we're going to create a space event. Back to adding in the code. Now this time with bracket object underscore ball, sorry, ball, not wall. Start curly brackets, enter. If go equals false, enter. And I'm just going to tab across and start another curly bracket. Go equals false. Oh, sorry, go equals true. Direction equals 45 plus random bracket 90 end bracket semicolon, enter. Speed is equal to 5, enter. Finish curly bracket, enter, backspace, finish curly bracket. Okay, now there is a reason why we have tabbed over for this. As you can see, we've got the opening and closing brackets at the same place and opening and closing brackets at the same place. So it's good to keep your code tidy, especially when you end up with pages and pages full of code. If there is some sort of sensible structure to it, it makes it a lot easier, especially if you have to go back and check for problems. Right, this code actually it may seem more complex, but it's really simple. It says with the ball object, if go is false, set it to true, and give the ball object a speed of 5, plus a random direction. Tick OK, and OK our object bat, and save it.